Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle.
Blow the whistle coming back at you. I'm your host, D Brown.
Blow the whistle.
Got your co-host over here, Dane, not your average therapist, is in the building as always.
Your brain is blazed, you've been wide awake for the last 3 days, popping.
Blow the whistle. Interactive podcast. We bringing sports and mental health together.
Can't stand, fall back. You're doing too much, you can't handle all that. Blow it.
No?
We'll talk about depression. We'll talk about all types of, other disorders, anxieties. We're going to talk about some good stuff too, some highlights, some things that you never heard from them before.
And make sure you like and follow Blow the Whistle _ on Instagram, Blow the Whistle on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube Blow the Whistle channel. Make sure you check out all the highlights, all the bloopers. We got some stuff, y'all.
You want the shirt? You see the shirt? You want the shirt?
It's out there for
It's
you.
out there for you. Blow the whistle.
Hey man, we here.
Blow the whistle.
Yo, what's going on? What's good? Blow the whistle. It's here.
I should have had a whistle.
You should have. We're gonna have one. We're gonna have it next time. I promise you that.
Yes, absolutely.
Blow the whistle, baby. This is a podcast. We putting sports and mental health together. We letting you know how it is out here. That we're on the same page in a lot of areas. It's real out here, and so we're gonna talk about some real stuff. Glad that you're coming to visit. Glad that you're here with us. I'm D Brown, the host, baby, and I got my homeboy, one of my guys, one of my ride or dies.
Yeah, man.
Damien, not your ordinary therapist, Harmon.
Appreciate it. Hey, y'all, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna kick some raw information regarding sports, mental health, and everything in between, from relationship to addiction to dealing with transition from being a sports athlete, student athlete, and how that looks like in your life currently. So we're gonna be having a lot of dope guests. This week we got one of our homeboys, from the crib.
Yeah,
I've known him over a decade.
Tory Woodbury is our special guest.
Yeah,
This
man.
guy has a lot to share. He has an amazing story. But he's really gonna, get into what we think is gonna be some great stuff to talk about. The Tory Woodbury is gonna come through. He's a guy from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, a legend there. This guy's a CIAA Hall of Fame. Great story. I don't even want to tell you everything about let him tell the story. But from number 7 to number 1, we'll talk about what that means. It's gonna be nice to have him on, and we're gonna blow the whistle on some stuff, man.
Hey, man.
Let it be known.
Flag on the plate. Stop the
Flag on
play.
the plate.
Let's talk about it.
Flag on the plate.
Let's talk about it. So we're gonna bring it to you raw, funny, chill back. We're not allowed to be chilling right now. So make sure y'all still staying safe out there. That COVID is still rampant. So make sure y'all staying safe at all costs. But we here, we're in the building. Hey man, I'm excited.
You're right.
Yeah, man.
Some of y'all know this ain't for me. This okay. All right. We're good.
Hey, y'all already know when you're in a home day dash, that's what I'm representing. All day, every day. Hey, we gonna get them.
See what?
Yo,
Good.
what's happening?
Going on?
Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle on it.
We are in the
T-Wood.
building, blow the whistle. What's going on? Our special guest this evening, you guys. Hall of Famer. You know him. You see him out there on the West Coast now. I'm still representing all day, every day, man. We here. What's going on, T Wood?
What's happening? What's up, Dane, man? D Brown, how y'all doing, man? Excited to be here. Blow the whistle. About to blow up. You feel me?
Yes, sir. We out here.
Boy, let's get right down to it. We ain't gonna take up too much of your time, man. But we know whatever you have to say is very important. And man, I just wanna first, I ain't give you the proper introduction, but I got to, and I gotta give some facts about you. And stop me, please. If you a real modest man, but be conceited for a little bit. If I miss something, put it up in there now, because I want people to know. Now, from Winston-Salem, correct?
Yup.
Raised by the beloved grandmother.
Yup.
Went to what is it, Glenn High School?
Yup.
Glenn, okay. was the QB. Then we went on to Winston-Salem and wind up under some circumstances the 7th on the depth chart. Am I correct? And
Yeah, might have been 8, but yeah.
What?
Number 8.
Wow.
Yeah, got an 8th on the depth chart.
Did y'all have enough chairs in the meeting room for 8 quarterbacks?
Oh yeah, we definitely had enough chairs for them. I wanted to be.
Yeah. Well, man, talk about perseverance. And you go from number 7 to number 1. And not only that, number 1, but you go to be one of the all-time greats in Winston-Salem to being a CIAA Hall of Famer. Am I correct in everything that I'm saying? I think I got it good.
Hey, that's a resume right there.
Man.
I'm definitely blessed. CIAA 2-time Hall of Famer. I'm actually up for the Black College Hall of Famer too. So
Congrats, man. Congrats.
I appreciate that. But yeah, what people don't know, man, I only played 2 games in high school. I didn't play my 9th, 10th, 11th grade. Went out my senior year, won a starting job, broke my wrist, and that was it. That was my high school career. Went to North Carolina Central for a partial basketball scholarship. I hooped in high school and didn't get that. So, my grandmother raised me and she was just like, you got to do something. You got to go to school. You got to work. I was tired of bagging groceries, washing dishes. So I was like, let me get a school thing a try. So that's when I walked on at Winston-Salem State University. My first year, I was just a student. Really wasn't even thinking about football. I actually met the defensive coordinator in the administration office. He was like, yo, I grew a little bit. I was a short guy. Like everybody wants to know me, I was a short cat. They used to call me Lil T. That was my nickname. Lil T.
Wow.
I ain't saying that now.
I was Lil T. They pat me on the head, the women, if I liked the female, oh, Lil T, that was it. Lil T, pat me.
You got the down on the forehead. Done. Friend zone all day.
All day. Even to this day, somebody do that. I'm like, yo, don't do that. And I get serious real quick.
Right. That's right.
Yeah, man, hit a little growth spurt and got to Winston-Salem State, 8th on the depth chart. I remember we had some twins from High Point. We had like 3 JUCO quarterbacks, and it was like me. My responsibility was to load the buses of their equipment. And then I would go in my dorm room, look out the window, and watch the buses pull off. I remember that like it was yesterday.
That was it.
Crazy.
So you go from being, let's call it what it is, being the do boy, the bag boy, watching the buses go by, to saying, I'm gonna be that guy. Somebody gonna be watching me go by, and wind up being the starter, and going on 2 times.
No question. Can we cuss?
Yes. Yes.
Well, how are you?
Definitely.
Well, go ahead.
I'm just saying, like you said, I don't like the term "do boy," but we'll call it something else, especially with you being from Florida.
Yeah.
We might use another term.
Yeah.
I was a do boy. That was my responsibility. And I remember just being in my dorm room, like, man, like, I know I'm better than these guys, but I ain't had the resume to prove it. I would just sit in my room, do push-ups. When they left, I would go to the field and just throw the ball. If I had one of the red shirt freshmen or whatever to catch, or I would pick a random student. Hey man, let's catch some ball. Oh man, yeah. And then I just have them stand out there and just throw the ball and work on my craft. And the following year, made a team. About 3 weeks in, I shattered my knee.
Wow.
I got tackled. I was running the option. And, I'm a little cocky by then. I done made the team. I'm like, I'm turning these cats up. I'm running the option. I done broke one. I'm waving the ball in DB. Old head, senior. He my homie, too. Man, horse collared me, shattered my left knee complete.
Wow.
Joint went up in my thigh.
Man.
I never forget that either. They had to pop it back in place, so I'm done. I'm like back at the crib at my grandmother's house in a full cast, laying in the bed. I'm like, yeah, this ain't for me. And, being at the HBCU, we didn't have like the resources and things for as far as rehab. So I kind of rehabbed on my own between home and there. And I just bust my butt, came back and worked my way up to being a backup. And my homie named Aaron Patcher, he was a starter from the JUCO in Kansas. I never forget that. About the fourth game against Livingstone, he was running the bootleg, got tackled. The guy didn't drop the flagpole. He got a hip pointer. They put me in, Woodbury, you up. And it was just like Willie Beeman. It's just like an episode of Any Given Sunday. They was like, Woodbury, you up? And I'm like, yo, up where? Like, what you mean? Like, up. It's like, man, go in the game. I'm like, nah, bro. I ain't going there. You got to understand, Livingstone was Livingstone. Livingstone was like the longest yard. You can do a 2-year bid, get out, and go straight to play at Livingstone.
No way.
I ain't want no pause.
No pause to that.
No pause in that. We went down. I drove my team down. We scored a touchdown. I'm like, yeah, game over, right? So it's 39-6. We got whooped. Now that was the only touchdown. Now, yeah, ain't
the only one.
Yeah, only one. Next week, we played North Carolina Central. This is BAT was showing games. I had my first start. I had about 200-something yards, 263 yards, like passing, 105 rushing. And that was kind of like my breakout year, man. My breakout game. I ain't looked back since, man. Just blessed. Man.
So looking at kind of like the triumphs, the kind of, I guess, heartbreak with the injuries and then coming back, describe kind of like how you were feeling through those times and what kind of helped you as far as support is concerned to kind of help you in those low points where you felt like, damn, like, fuck, you know what I'm saying? I done made it up to this point and now I get hurt. So what would you say that you did to kind of go through that, deal through that as far as from a mental standpoint, your support system that you had locally?
Well, just being completely honest, man, if it wasn't for my grandmother, there's no telling where I'd be. Growing up in Winston-Salem, I was in the projects, had a lot of homies. And I always tell people this, I'm not the best talent to come out of Winston-Salem. It's far better talent than me. And that's just being real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I was struggling, I'm like, man, this ain't me. I wanted to hang with my homeboys, doing stuff I'm not supposed to be doing. But my grandmother worked for, it's called the Housing Authority. So basically she would go around to all the projects, clean the houses. I would go over there and take my grandmother lunch, and she'd be on her hands and knees scrubbing toilets and stuff. So like when I saw that, man, that was like, I gotta do something. So that was always my drive when I was injured, doing stuff. I was like, man, I gotta do something. I gotta make a decision. Either I'm gonna be like, nobody wants to be a local legend, or I'm gonna make something of myself. You know what I mean? So she was my driving force through everything, like everything. I kept a picture of my grandmother everywhere I went, and she was my driving force.
So man, I'm hearing you say even when you was down, it brought you to a place where you had to really observe your environment and see what was happening around you, and even still, you had an opportunity where some would have been, hey, it's over. I'm
right.
giving up. I'm throwing in the towel. You still looking at, as looking at your grandmother and others who you're surrounded, like, no, this is motivation. This ain't for me. You keep saying that. You keep saying this is not for me, and then you go on to the National Football League and have a brief career there, correct?
Yeah.
And how is that trend? I mean, because that's a triumph in its own. We know that you winning a lottery ticket, then being able to play in a uniform, and so you know what I'm saying, to be able to go from that, man, is quite amazing. How was that experience, and then having to still stick to the motivations that you had, coming up through the injuries of, hey, this is not for me. Hey, I got to do something because I don't want to see my grandmother on her hands and knees. You know what I'm saying? Like going through that pace. How is that? And knowing again, as a free agent, the uphill battle, because you just went through it as a college student. Now as a professional, you got to go through the uphill battle. So tell me about the mental aspect of being able to have to do that all over again.
Man, the crazy part, just growing up, and this, both of y'all know this, the outsiders look like, man, this must be tough, such and such, such, especially with the climate now. But we've been built like that. We had to overcome obstacles all our life. So this is nothing new. This is normal, kind of normal to us.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So going into the league back then in the 2001 draft, I played quarterback. I'm at a small black college. At the time, Winston-Salem State had 2,600 students. I never forget that. We talking about a Division II HBCU, and I'm a black quarterback.
Right.
There's no way. You know what I mean? It's already tough for the black quarterbacks to make it to the NFL. Period. You know what I mean? But at one point in time, my agent told me that I signed with. I was like number 4 coming out. Michael Vick, Quincy Carter, remember QC, that's my dog. It was one more, then they like projected me like a 4th and 5th rounder. I was like, man, this is crazy. But I didn't know my attitude dropped me to a free agent. You know, the trouble I got into it with Winston-Salem State. The decisions I was making, while I was making those decisions, seeing my grandmother, I was still basically getting in trouble at Winston-Salem State. Just keep it real. I was disrespectful. You know, getting kicked off the team in the dorm, everything, team rules. I just felt like nobody can tell me anything. And that was just from the way I was raised. You know, as black men, we're taught we can't show emotions, especially playing ball. You don't show emotion. That's a sign of weakness. I kept a lot of stuff bottled in, you know what I mean? And so I would lash out at times, and that hurt me in the long run. But at the same time, I would try to keep my grandmother in the forefront of my mind, everything I did. And that's why I'm just so passionate about her, because she got me through a lot of this stuff. Even getting to the league, when I got there, I'm just like, man, I didn't have no clue what was going on. It was tough mentally. It was tough. Being in the league was a blessing and a curse. And I tell people this because that's probably the least amount of sleep I ever got in my life. Being a free agent black quarterback, I didn't know if I was getting cut. I used to lay in the bed and hear people, you know, we've been in the dorm. You hear people knocking on the door like, oh man, they coming here next. Like my career over. Like I would be on hiatus till like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And then we would have to be up at 5:30. So I get about an hour of sleep, like just nervous, learning the business of it, being a black quarterback. And I just mentally, it just wore on me. You know what I mean? And at the same time, like I said, I just tried to keep my grandmother. That was my motivation. It's been a long journey, even getting there, and then, you know, having a career plan, wide receiver, safety, special teams. I love my time in the NFL. You know what I mean? But when you get there and they label you as an athlete, you got to do what you got to do to survive. Right. And that's what I had to do. You know what I mean? I wasn't used to running down on kickoff. I mean, playing wide receiver, but I knew that I wanted to retire my grandmother, and I was able to do that. You know what I mean? It's mentally challenged. I tell everybody that. The NFL is probably 80% mental, 20% physical. And Deep Brown, you know that. You know, man, it's about opportunity. And unfortunately, I played a position where they don't give us that opportunity.
Absolutely.
So looking at it from that standpoint, I'm thinking, as you're talking to Wood, like that's anxiety 24/7. You know what I mean? Like just staying on edge. You know what I mean? And you talked about as a child having those lashing out moments, or you know what I'm saying, in school, still young, but still releasing some energy that you had from your experiences growing up. So with that, did it add to the additional pressure of trying to stay on the team, the anxiety of like, hell, I don't know if I'm being called in the office today? And how were you able to kind of combat that during the season that you were in the league?
Oh yeah, I mean, just to keep it real, I was angry. As they say, the angry black man. I had so much built up into me from the way I grew up. Then I'm learning the business of the NFL. And like I said earlier, as black men, I'm just keeping it real.
Yeah.
Real talk, you can't show no damn weakness. You a punk, you this, you that.
If I had a whistle, I would blow it. Say it again. If I had a whistle, I would blow it.
Oh, we coming from where I played Pop Warner. If we was losing at halftime, we would get a spanking. That's real talk.
Wow.
That's where I'm coming from. You know what I mean? The hood. So, man, don't nobody want to hear you cry me a river and all that. Like, you got to suck that up.
Right.
I'm
Speak on that a little bit, because I done heard you say it a couple times, and I want to get your opinion on that. Being a black man growing up, you said it's the way I grew up. I was lashing out. I was disrespectful, but it was the way that I grew up. You say you said something else just a minute ago that made me think about you. You said that's how we were. That's how it was in the hood.
As far as like growing up in the hood, where we all kind of grew up in, you're pretty much cutting off two of your basic core emotions growing up: fear and sadness. You can only show happiness and anger. That's it.
Yeah.
As black men.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So as you growing into adulthood, you get into these relationships, whether it's business relationships, personal relationships, or whatever. You're encouraged to communicate and express. And if you didn't grow up like that, you like, I don't know what to do. So all you get is anger.
That's all you get.
You see what I'm saying? Without that ability to have that emotional intelligence, we tended to resort to just anger. That's it. Whether we were hurt, you know what I'm saying? Whether we feared something, we kind of pushed it all the way to anger. Everything is anger. That's it. That's the only thing we could show. So those lashing outs could have been probably for help, hurt, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? But not really getting that in that environment or getting that reciprocated back to you in a healthy way. You know what I'm saying? You carry that shit as a man. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And we struggle.
And that's what I wanted to ask you, Wood, like, in your opinion now, being a professional that you are, being a man of God that you are, you know what I'm saying, and being through some things that we'll talk about, some of the things that we've been through. What do you think was missing? What if you could have turned back the hands of time and say, if I had this in my life, I wouldn't have been lashing out like I did. I wouldn't have been doing the fighting and the disrespectful and all that. Like now, it's hard to kind of have that answer at 25, 26 years old. But now we're not gonna talk about. We're not gonna say how old you are. although you got a birthday coming up, we're gonna put that on later. But what in your opinion, man? What was missing? If you could.
I mean, that's easy. I feel like if I would have had a father figure to show me ropes, I think things would have been a lot different. I can't even say that. I can't say I think. I know things would have been different. You know what I mean? I held that anger from not really knowing my father, just keeping it 100 inside me. Like, yo, where's my dad? Like, man, I got nothing. You know what I mean? My stepfather, I'm the oldest of 6. So my stepfather kind of, he stepped in and I'm so grateful for him to this day. But I've always was curious about my father. I feel like if I would have had a father like growing up, man, ain't no telling what I would have been at an early age. But then again, I am who I am without him. Right. Like, I done went through, losing my little brother being murdered. My best friend committed suicide in front of me. Like, stuff like this, people don't, and I had to handle that stuff myself. Best friend shot himself in front of me. I had to handle that by myself. My little brother was murdered when I just signed with Denver. Basically had to handle that for myself, and even like had a suicide attempt my own self. I was in a dark place. I was in a very dark place. Suicide attempt, just mentally, I was just like, I can't do this no more. Like, I don't know where to turn because I had so much built up in me and I didn't know how to release it because all my life I'm taught, nah, you tough. When you knock down as a kid, you get up, playing ball. Nah, we don't cry around here, get up.
Right.
And carry it over.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to learn, like, I got to break that generation curse to get where I'm at now. So it was a long road, you know what I mean? And just being on this call, and like I said, I'm transparent. If it wasn't for, at the time, I was going through stuff, I was staying with you deep. I mean, you know what I mean? Looking out for me, staying with you. If it weren't for you finding me, I'd be dead right now. They just call a spade, and I don't mind sharing it. I literally be dead right now.
Wow.
It's all.
I still
really
got the
powerful,
level.
man. That's some
Nah, that's not even making a statement. That's honest.
Yeah.
I would be dead, dog. Even when I went, they took me to the hospital. They said they had to bring me back one time. So I literally died, and they brought me back.
What kind of motivates you now after that incident, which is a life-changing, situation? Some people would call it a breakdown. I call it a breakthrough. If you're able to muscle through something that difficult in your life and bounce back, it's only up at that point. There's a new person that arrives from that. You know what I'm saying? Like awakening. You know what I mean? So talk about that and how that kind of shift for you going through that traumatic event.
Man, I don't even want to turn this into a Bible study, but it was nothing but God, though, for real. I mean, like I said, I was dealing with a whole lot of stuff mentally, and then for have D to be there by my side, to be in ICU for like 5 days and come out of that, it was nothing but God. I had to lean on God to help me out that situation. Even going back to when my brother was murdered, I was with the Denver Broncos. I was in the all-season program. We was working out and everything. I got the call. I just fell out at the bar crying. I never forget that. It was Plumber, all of us was out there just chilling. I remember them taking me to the airport, caught the first flight back to Winston. I was just in a bad place, man. And I was there for a minute. And then on top of that, I saw who my real friends were. I had all these homies, I say so-called homies, but T Wood, when I was in that situation, nothing. Man, that showed me a lot. And I think sometimes God gonna take you through there, not to expose you, but to show you. You know what I mean? To show you what the real is. And I learned that. I was like, okay. Even to this day, you know what I mean? Just grinding to get here. Just grinding to get here. Like, I see who in my corner, and I know who's not.
Right.
But I can't be in this situation and not help someone. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's my ultimate goal, though.
Wow.
Man, that's crazy, man. That's amazing. Just to to be able to talk about the mental strength, and you teaching a lot of lessons in just the story, because there's a lot of people out there who do have a lot of things that they fighting and they being strong about, and they feeling like they're gonna break down.
And that's the thing, bro. Like, we say strong, but that's really not strength.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it's something that's still weighing down on a daily basis, you know what I mean? That's you trying to tough it out is not strength.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, your true strength is being able to be transparent and be vulnerable in your emotions and actually address what the hell is going on when you're feeling it. You know what I'm saying? And being able to hit it head on. You know what I mean?
Boy, y'all have me emotional in here, man. I might need about 30 seconds, man.
What'd you say?
I might need about a minute, man. I ain't trying to. Y'all about to have your boy emotional in here for real.
Man, take your time, take a deep.
Hey, hold on a minute. Hold on. Just give me about a minute. Give me like 30 seconds, man.
So, man, appreciate it.
My bad. Yo, I ain't really never thought about that. Like, sometimes you be in it.
Yeah.
Or you be busy and you just like go. Then when you sit and actually talk with you, like, man, damn.
No, bro, that's fine. I was just telling the viewers, like, even what you taking, having enough consciousness and confidence to be able to say that, let me take a time out right now.
Right. That's a coping skill.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You realize how much just naturally what you did and how organically that lesson just came, because that's a coping skill. There's a lot of domestic violence cases, if they could just use that simple skill that you just displayed right there, they'll never see the inside of a courtroom or have to go through the proceedings. So it's just off that simple gesture there, man, that's a lesson in its own. So
right.
I appreciate that, man. Y'all my homies, man.
That's 100%. That's
I mean,
raw
stop recording and all that, but that was just real. You know what I mean? That was a fault.
For sure, man. We all need it. And sometimes, like I said, it's about that self-awareness when you're able to kind of actually maybe sit back and reflect. Because like you said, we on the go 24/7. You know what I mean? And a lot of things, especially over this last 3 or 4 months, dealing with COVID and protests and everything else. Everybody's kind of on a heightened type of feel, but at the same time, you're stuck inside.
Yeah.
So you got to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? So there's been a lot of a shift. I guess we can talk about a shift lately, I would say over the last 10 years, whether it's athletes, whether it's spokesperson, whether it's celebrities, talking about mental health. You know what I mean? And the importance of especially Black men. You know what I'm saying? It's all us. It's us tonight. You know talking about Black men. So talk to the people about the importance of maintaining your mental health and what you do to kind of maintain that.
You know, one thing when I do talk to teens, kids, the first thing I normally tell them, like, I know what you're going through, but the one thing you have to do, you have to talk to somebody. You have to. It ain't tough. That's not being tough to hold it in and like lash out here and there, want to be tough guy. You know what I mean? I'm a prime example of that. And that's just as Black men as whole, we got so much negativity built up because we got to go through so much. We got to do twice as more to get half as far. And it's frustrating. I'm just being real. Yeah. That is frustrating. With the systematic racism and all those things going on, it's frustrating. It's frustrating hopping in our whip, and it's not telling our kids if they get pulled over, it's when you get pulled over. Because you're Black, you get pulled over. You know what I mean? You having them conversations, what to do. You know, and I told this, conversations we had with the Rams, people, they see me around here in LA and things like that. I don't wear Rams gear to show who I am. I wear Rams gear because it makes me safe. If you think about it. I keep Rams gear in my car. Because when I go to the store and things, man, I'm not the biggest guy. I'm 6'3", 245, 22 tattoos. When they see me, it's automatically, I'm a threat. You know what I mean? So I still see the persons being close, the cars being locked,
You look like a threat across the screen right now.
the cars being locked and all that. But when I wear Rams gear, I go on the store, I go on the Target, that's the Rams player, go talk. And I'm like, hey, it's crazy. If I get pulled over with Rams gear, oh man, have a good day, man. It's just crazy. And
it's a bulletproof vest. Wow.
No question.
I don't wear it to say who I am. I wear it for protection. Wow.
No question. No question.
That has to be crazy.
It's tough as a Black man. Y'all know that it's just tough as a Black man. Like the strikes are against us. We born.
Yeah, it doesn't matter your status.
In
your eyes, you're still a Black man.
You're still a Black man. So that's why in my situation, God has put me in this situation, if I don't help a young brother get here in some form or fashion, all this was a waste. Everything I went through was a waste. That's why my brothers hit me up. Hey, can you do this, do that? I got time. I'm gonna send you this. Let me do this. Let me do that. God put me in this position for a reason. You know what I mean? It's to reach back and help other brothers to get here. Because there's not a lot of us. And that's just being real. It's not.
Man, you said a mouthful in a short period of time. And so, man, just to talk about the perseverance, you talk about the detachment from, loved ones, having to deal with loss, grief, not grieving, having your own perseverance and injuries.
Right. In life.
And listen, excuse me. Well, I tell you, I don't know, we're gonna have to edit this one.
A little bit, yeah, man. Like,
But to go from there, man, and like you said, man, you said something so powerful, and I want people to hear. And that's why I want to do athletes with mental health, because I could bring anybody on. I could bring my neighbor on, and but listen, we trying to get the NBA back. We trying to keep the schedule for the NFL on. Why? Because it's obvious. America needs and wants and desires sports, entertainment.
Outlet. Yeah.
That's the outlet. So it was my desire to get guys who've been in the industry who aren't afraid to talk about what you just said, man. You said something powerful. It's like, you need to talk to somebody.
Oh, absolutely.
We gotta talk. We gotta be able to get out of that, break away from that chain that we've been attached to growing up.
Emotional chain.
And say,
generational curse, man.
We gotta talk.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with crying. Now, no, we're not here that you cry every day.
Right.
But ain't nothing wrong with crying, man. There's a place and ain't nothing wrong with teaching a place and the time for it. You said some powerful stuff, man, and you had to go through it. And there's people like that in this world too. You can say it and they comprehend it. Some people just got to go through it. Maybe you were one of the people that had to go through it, and you did, and you went all the way through it from the root to the top. Right. You know what I'm saying? You went from I can do it, and I did it, to man, I can't do it no more. I don't even know where I want to be. Right. So now it's like, man, you are now, the assistant special teams coach for hold on, I'm about to mess it up. Where the Rams at?
Come on, man. We in LA, man.
LA. Oh, good. The Los Angeles Rams. And I know personally.
Y'all see it right there. Y'all see it right there.
I ain't gonna get to that.
Go ahead, D. Go ahead, D. What was you saying, D?
I ain't gonna get to that. But man, just that story and where you are now, man. Me personally knowing, the grind that you put in to even. It's goal setting, and that's the one thing I think that a good thing we can take away from all of it is how many times you just reset your goal. Okay, that first goal didn't something happened and had we had a roadblock, but you just reset the goal. Right. You didn't focus on that one. The fact of how you didn't get towards. You just reset the daggone thing. Whether it was I'm gonna be the next quarterback, to I'm gonna do this for my grandmama, to I got to get out of this situation, to this is my ultimate goal in my professional realm, to whatever. Like, you just kept resetting the goals. So I think that's one of the things that you are indirectly just telling people is to keep resetting the damn goal, man. And you can, there's a lot of motivation in life in doing that.
Right.
Yeah, no question.
You can't just reach a goal and then stop.
Nah, because the world's not gonna stop, man. And y'all know, not just me, both of y'all, we're going through what we went through for them. We going through it so they don't have to go through it. Right. That's what we're trying to get. And so, definitely, D, I know you for sure. Our room for excuses is minimum. My room for excuses when a guy, man, I'm having problems. Nah, man, I don't want to hear that. You have no idea what I went through. Yeah. You know what I mean? You have no idea. So it's okay to talk to somebody. It's okay to cry. When I go through adversity, do I cry? Yeah, I sit back, cry, go through my little pouting mode. All right, now what? What we gonna do to get out of this?
Now what?
Yeah, don't let it overtake.
Come up in the bubble like a little speech bubble over your head.
No questions. It's like you waiting on that text to come through and you see them bubbles, like, it's gonna come. It's like now what? You can sit in and let it overtake you, but sometimes you gotta take a step or two back to step through. You know what I mean? Like that's just real.
I like that. That. We're gonna quote that right there.
I take my 3%. That's cool. Yeah.
So 3 to 5.
You said 3?
Not 3.
3. Okay.
We good. We good on that.
Maybe even 2 for my homies.
You know what I mean? We got 100,000 likes. We'll up it to 5%.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. No doubt, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. But this is definitely dope, man. Like going from the beginning to the development of T-Wood, to the highs, the lows, to the highs again, and currently what you're doing, man. It's definitely an inspiration. Inspiration to young cats, inspiration to older cats. You know what I'm saying? It's just an inspiration, and we definitely love the positivity in what you got going on right now.
I appreciate y'all having me, man. Y'all my brothers, man. Love y'all for sure. Y'all keep doing what you're doing, man. Shine that light for sure. Any way I can help, let me know.
Yes, sir.
Would you keep doing the same thing out there in LA, man? Be easy. Stay safe, man. Keep being a model for the youth and for everybody at this stage, man. And we like Dame said, I'm picking back off what he said. We appreciate the heartfelt testimony. Just really, being blood raw about, what perseverance looks like, what depression feels like, and then, how to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? And you, like I said, you said some simple statements that carry a lot of weight and very powerful, man. And so, man, I ain't afraid. And that's another thing. You said it, and I'm gonna say it back to you because we're afraid to say it, man. Love you too, bro.
No doubt. Love y'all food.
You say you learned from me, I've learned from you. Yeah. And this was big. This was big and good. Thank you for the kickoff, for the pop off.
Appreciate y'all, man. All right, man.
Before you get out of here, make sure you plug where they can find you at, man. Y'all boys gonna be on Hard Knocks. I'm gonna check it out reluctantly. I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Throw your 30-second plug in.
Yeah, people they can find you, man. Go ahead.
We're gonna be on Hard Knocks this year, and I already put on my Facebook, my social media, all my small Black businesses. If you got clothing, anything you want me to wear to promote, send it to you, boy. Look me up on my Instagram, Tory Woodbury, Twitter, all that. This is for the city. This is not only for Winston-Salem, it's for all us, man. I'm excited. That's what I'm most excited for. I'm excited. So, matter of fact, y'all need to get them shirts made and send your boy one.
Yeah, we got you.
We got you. Listen, and you're gonna have one of them whistles. I'm gonna send you the whistle too. That's right. Don't worry about it. Blow that whistle. That's what I need you to do, man.
Send me that, and then take down that background. Y'all will be good.
We good.
Hey,
I appreciate y'all, man.
I appreciate you, damn, showing out, man.
Right.
Blessing the people with your testimony, being vulnerable, being open, the whole nine. That's what this is what I'm talking about. This is what I love right here. This is what I do, man. I appreciate it. We appreciate it, man. For everybody here, see what I did in LA. We over here in North Carolina, everything in between, man. Thank y'all for checking out. You know what I'm saying? We blowing the whistle in here.
Blow the whistle.
Whistle, yo.
So when something is profound, you hear something profound on this show, what you gonna do? You gonna hear it. You gonna blow your whistle. Every time you watch the show, you blow the whistle.
Alert.
Man.
Blow the whistle.
Run it back.
Hey, from my Cali. Hey, blow the whistle, homie.
Hey.
In my Cali voice. All right, fellas.
All right, man.
Man.
Peace, boy.